Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Angeline. So yesterday we learned that high heels were actually worn by men back in the 16th century.
Okay.
They were considered masculine clothing. This is something that happens a lot with clothing, jewelry, and shoes. Can you think of any more examples, Erin?
Well, I know that when I think of necklaces and bracelets and rings, I usually think of women.
Right.
Like wearing jewelry. However, men have also been wearing jewelry just like women for thousands of years.
That's true. You know, when I was in high school, a lot of guys started to get their ears pierced. Like they would put holes through their ears so that they could wear an earring or two, right? And makeup. Makeup isn't just for girls anymore, too.
Right.
A lot of different brands have skin and makeup products for men, like the famous Korean BB cream and even nail polish.
Right.
And what else? Oh, men also keep their hair long, right?
Right. There's so many examples that so we think are masculine or feminine, that's the female version, but are actually just worn by everyone, and we just don't even think about it.
Well, let's continue on with today's article by finding out how women adopted high heels.
All right.
Reading.
High heels, fashion or foolish? An odd fashion trend in the 1630s brought high heels to women's attention. At the time, women's fashion was similar to men's. Thus, women added high heels to their outfits in the interest of appearing more masculine. This trend changed toward the end of the 17th century, though. Men's shoes started being made with lower, square-shaped heels, and women's shoes became more slender and had pointed toes. During the 18th century, men's fashion took on a practical form. Men preferred simple, useful styles that allowed them to do their work comfortably. As women during this period were often uneducated, their impractical heels were seen by men to lack rhyme or reason. Indeed, by 1740, men had stopped wearing them completely. These days, if women choose to wear high heels, they should avoid pointed toes and heels higher than 6 centimeters. That way, they may experience less pain when wearing them. In the end, however, women should wear whatever makes them the most comfortable, regardless of the shoe's history or stereotype.
Okay, so day 2 of our article begins by saying, an odd fashion trend in the 1630s brought high heels to women's attention. Okay, oh boy, do we have a lot of words and phrases to look at here. Okay, the first vocabulary word is odd. O-D-D, odd.
Is it short?
If something is odd, it is strange or weird.
Okay.
For example, naming your child Bacon would be very odd.
It would be. I don't know many kids named Bacon, that's for sure. Now, the noun trend, spelled T-R-E-N-D, trend here, means something cool or fashionable at the current moment. For example, my sister hates the skinny jeans trend because she thinks they aren't very comfortable. They're too tight.
They are actually kind of tight, but they make you look really nice.
They do.
Okay, we also saw the phrase, bring something to somebody's attention. This means to make somebody aware of something.
All right, so now they know about it because you've told them. Okay. So what was this odd fashion trend in the 1630s? That's a long time ago. Now, the article says, at the time, women's fashion was similar to men's. So women were wearing their hair like men and their clothes like men, their hats and everything. like they're kind of wanted to dress the same as men.
I see. Okay. So our article continues to say, thus, women added high heels to their outfits in the interest of appearing more masculine.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at the phrase add A to B. This means to put something with something else. Erin, do you add sugar to your coffee?
Sugar and milk, actually. Now, we also saw the noun outfit here. So they're adding something to their outfit. An outfit is a set of clothes that you wear all together. So that would include your pants, your skirt, your pants, your shirt, your jacket, your hat, your shoes, and your jewelry. All of those things put together make one outfit.
So have you guys seen those outfit of the day pictures, which show people their entire outfit all the way from their head to their toes? Okay, so we also see the phrase in the interests of something, which means that something is done for the benefit of something or someone. Okay, so for example, in the interests of public health, you are not allowed to smoke in the building.
Oh, okay. So you're not allowed to smoke because it might hurt other people.
Right.
Or yourself. So it's done in the interest of health.
And in the benefit of other people.
Right. Now, in the last article, in yesterday's article, we used the noun masculinity.
Right.
But in today's, we're using the adjective masculine. Now, masculine describes things that are related to boys and men. It's very similar to the other definition. Now, we could say this in a way that says, John always dresses very masculine. He's always wearing suits and ties.
Okay.
Right. Now, the article tells us that this trend did not last forever. It says, this trend changed toward the end of the 17th century, though.
Okay, so our article explains how the trend changed. It says men's shoes started being made with lower, square-shaped heels.
Okay.
And women's shoes became more slender and had pointed toes. Okay, so our vocabulary word, slender, S-L-E-N-D-E-R, slender, means thin and narrow.
Right.
For example, you can't drink bubble milk tea out of a slender straw. You'll need a wider one.
Right. So the slender one is too thin. It's too small for all the bubbles. So you need a wider one.
So not only were women's shoes more slender, they also had pointed toes, okay? So the front of the shoe would be in the shape of a triangle.
Right.
If a shoe had a pointed toe. So if something is pointed, it has a point at the end. For example, a pencil, when sharpened, is pointed.
Okay. Now, these pointed shoes, they're still around today. And I think these are the ones that I don't like the most. They're very uncomfortable. But let's continue on with our article. It says, during the 18th century, men's fashion took on a practical form. Now, this is how the fashion trend changed.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the phrase take on. When you take on a characteristic or feature, you develop that feature until it's your feature. For example, this caterpillar can take on the color of the leaves it eats so it can hide easily. So maybe the caterpillar wants to hide from a bird.
Okay.
And so it needs to hide, and it changes, over time it changes its color so that it looks the same color as the tree or the leaf.
Oh, okay.
And so then the birds can't see it, so it takes on this color.
That's interesting.
Now, we also saw the adjective practical here, which is spelled P-R-A-C-T-I-C-A-L. Practical. So they're taking on a practical form. Practical describes things that are appropriate for use or easier to use than other things. So they're simpler. They make things more comfortable, easier to use. Now, for example, it takes Jane 1 hour to do her hair every day. Her haircut is not very practical.
Not at all. To have to get up 1 hour early just to do your hair.
Just to do your hair.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It does, actually.
Okay. Going back to our article, it tells us that men preferred simple, useful styles that allowed them to do their work comfortably.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah, because I can't imagine, okay, let's see. Think about a job that a guy would do and then have to do it in high heels.
In the 18th century, maybe you're starting to work in a factory or a coal mine, something like that. And
mining with high heels, that would be hilarious.
Not going to happen. Yeah. So now men are not wearing high heels because they're not easy to walk in.
Nope.
And they're very uncomfortable. But that's not true of women. The article explains more.
Okay.
As women during this period were often uneducated, their impractical heels were seen by men to lack rhyme or reason. Now, there's a few things we need to talk about here. Here we see the opposite of practical, which is actually impractical.
Okay.
So it means hard to use or hard to wear. Something makes you uncomfortable, which means they're making life a little bit more difficult for the women because they were hard to walk in. And we also see the phrase lack rhyme or reason, which is today's shortcut for you. So let's take a quick break to learn more about it.
Shortcut for you.
You don't look happy, Pat.
I'm not, Vina. I've just been kicked out of my rock band.
Why did I get rid of you?
I have no idea. The decision lacks rhyme or reason.
Oh, they kicked you out because you can't rhyme? Or sing? Or play music?
Not at all. We say something lacks rhyme or reason to emphasize that there is no reason for or way to explain something.
Right. Lack rhyme or reason means 莫名其妙,毫无道理.
That's exactly correct. But anyway, why do you doubt my music skills?
Because I've actually heard you sing.
Really? Did you like my songs?
No, but I was impressed by the way everyone in the audience ran away.
The more I think about it, maybe my band's decision didn't lack rhyme or reason at all.
Ha ha.
And since there was really no reason to be wearing high heels,
right?
Our article says, indeed, by 1740, men had stopped wearing them completely. Okay, so the adverb completely, C-O-M-P-L-E-T-E-L-Y, completely means in every way. This means that men didn't wear these shoes at all.
Right.
Let's make a sentence with completely. Denise and her sister are completely different. They don't even look alike.
Okay, now, women are usually the only people who wear high heels now. So now that we know this history and that women are the only ones who wear them, here's a few tips to make wearing them just a tiny bit more comfortable. Now, the article says, these days, if women choose to wear high heels, they should avoid pointed toes and heels higher than 6 centimeters. Now, the noun centimeter is spelled C-E-N-T-I-M-E-T-E-R, centimeter. And it's a unit for measuring length. So we usually shorten it to cm. You might see that more often. And I think I'm not very good at math here, but there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter.
That's right.
Okay.
Very good. And do you have an example sentence for
I
centimeter?
The sentence is, that snake is huge. It's almost 87 centimeters long.
That is a huge snake.
It is.
I do not want to be anywhere near that snake.
Right.
And heels higher than 6 centimeters? I didn't even know they came in 6 centimeters.
They do. I've actually saw a pair with... I actually don't even know how many centimeters high they were yesterday.
Okay. So, right. So the 2 tips that we got just now was shoes avoid pointed toes, right? And then shoes that are 6 centimeters
or lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these 2 tips are important because our article says that way they may experience less pain when wearing them.
Right. So we're going to finish off our article now by saying, in the end, however, women should wear whatever makes them the most comfortable, regardless of the shoe's history or stereotype. Now, let's look at this phrase, regardless of. It means that you're not affected by something, or something doesn't stop what you do. Here, women should wear whatever shoes they like the best, and they shouldn't be affected or they shouldn't be stopped by the history or idea of the shoes.
Right. And we also saw that you shouldn't be affected by the shoes stereotype. Okay. So a stereotype is an idea of what something is supposed to be like.
Right.
For example, if you said women should wear heels, that would be a stereotype. Okay. But that's not true. Women should be able to wear any shoe they want.
Right. Now, that brings us to the end of today's article, so let's finish up with our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, so our For You chat question today is, what kind of style of clothing or shoes do you prefer to wear, and why?
Okay, so I like summer clothing the best.
Okay.
Because it's the easiest outfit to put together. You don't need a jacket, you don't need a scarf, you don't need gloves. In the summer, I love to wear dresses because all you need to do is just put on that one item.
Wear a dress and you're good to go.
And I love to wear flip-flops because then my feet can breathe. Yeah.
It's really sweaty in Taiwan,
It
so
is,
it's
and
hard to wear
humid.
socks. Yeah. I'm actually the opposite.
Oh, okay.
I really love wearing sweaters. And I think this might be because I'm from Canada. Where I'm from in Canada, there's snow 6 or 7 months a year.
Oh, wow.
So you get used to wearing layers of clothing and different scarves and hats. Even in Taiwan, I have about 20 scarves and 5 hats, and I never get to wear them.
It's never cold enough.
Because it's never cold enough. So as soon as winter hits in Taiwan, I've got them out, and I'm putting them on, and I'm cozy and comfortable. But people enjoy different kinds of outfits. What kind of outfits do you guys wear? Talk about it with your friends, your classmates, but for our high heel article, we're all out of time.
We are.
So for English for You, I'm Erin.
And I'm Angeline.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
High heels, fashion or foolish? An odd fashion trend in the 1630s brought high heels to women's attention. At the time, women's fashion was similar to men's. Thus, women added high heels to their outfits in the interest of appearing more masculine. This trend changed toward the end of the 17th century, though. Men's shoes started being made with lower, square-shaped heels, and women's shoes became more slender and had pointed toes. During the 18th century, men's fashion took on a practical form. Men preferred simple, useful styles that allowed them to do their work comfortably. As women during this period were often uneducated, their impractical heels were seen by men to lack rhyme or reason. Indeed, by 1740, men had stopped wearing them completely. These days, if women choose to wear high heels, they should avoid pointed toes and heels higher than 6 centimeters. That way, they may experience less pain when wearing them. In the end, however, women should wear whatever makes them the most comfortable, regardless of the shoe's history or stereotype.
vocabulary review.
Odd. What's that odd smell? It's quite unusual. Trend. Everyone seems to be wearing thick black glasses these days. Are they a new trend? Slender. The slender trees easily bend in the strong breeze. Practical. These types of pants are more practical for people who work with tools or machines. Completely. Mia broke up with Mike. She stopped talking to him completely. Centimeter. Use this ruler to measure the bug. It looks about 4 centimeters long.